Welcome back, everybody, and thank you for joining us here on the SpyShack podcast. Get together and talk about the latest episode of Survivor, which last night was the season finale of Survivor HHH. I gave up trying to say the name of this season. It never rolled off the tongue as other seasons eventually did. With you as always, I'm your host, Perspective, and my co-host. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce them, and I'm gonna ask them their one word to describe the finale. Randy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's nice to have all of us back together, I guess, plus some intruder. But yeah, it's nice for us all to be back together. It's been a while.
And Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm great, and yeah, it's great to have the entire squad back, and we had lots of things happen this season in the show, out of the show, and so my word for tonight would be. Would tinfoil be one word or two words?
I'll count it. I'll take it.
Okay.
Kim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I want to wish everybody a happy holidays because we won't be back by then. I miss and love my son every day. And it gets harder as the holidays get closer. But my word is interference.
And we're going to go ahead and say thank you, Doug, for being able to fill in not only for myself, but for Randy when he needed it. So we wanted to go ahead and have him for the finale since he's been able to help us out throughout the season. Doug, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me and letting me fill in. It's been really fun.
We love having you.
Oh, thank you. I think my word would be probably sounds similar, but for a different reason. Unsurprising.
Yeah. Okay. I see that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I never gave my word. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go straight up with exciting. I thought this was exciting.
As always, I'm gonna go last, and as a cheating, and I'm never prepared for this fun of it, so I'm just gonna say, wow. And you know, there's been a lot of talk, and I think this finale was great, the polarizing in the server fan community. So we'll get to that, and we'll talk about what the actual final moments of the regular episode when we get there. How's everybody on the chat room? I want you guys to let us know what your word is for the episode.
It's pretty quiet right now. Patty's going with karma.
Ooh, I think the word karma is good. I like that word.
I haven't heard anyone else yet, but I see Patty's is karma. That's not too bad there.
Yep, that's good. If you guys in the chat room, let us know what you guys are thinking, and we'll come back to you guys and talk with you all. All right, so let's start off where the last episode finished off with who was out? Ashley, right? Ashley was the one that voted out, and last week, Doug and I pretty much hammered in that there was a lot of bad gameplay going on. And that seemed to continue today or this episode. And right away, Ben takes off and nobody follows him. I mean, come on, what the hell? What do you guys think?
But I think that they might have followed him sometimes, but I think that he wasn't stopping. And I think it's in the middle of the night. They're tired. They're tired of chasing him around, and they gave up. Is that $1 million mistake? I guess we'll see. But I think they were just tired. I don't think they never looked for him or followed him, but they should have maybe taken shifts.
Because there were 4, 5, and 6 of them the past few rounds, and I mean. What was it, Africa, where they literally had to have somebody up at all times? Yeah. Like, just take turns.
I would have followed nonstop. I would have been the person they hated. Because, fans are never happy. You don't follow, they hate you. If all you do is follow, they hate you. So I would have been the one they hated that followed nonstop. If he went to take a crap, I am there basically wiping his behind because I'm going to make sure he doesn't find that idol.
The thing is, are they aware of how how far into the game those idols are going to be in, because
they're super. Yeah, Chrissy.
They should
Ryan
know.
should.
Chrissy and Ryan should flat out know that, and they, in my opinion, they have no excuse. Maybe the first time he played one, but then he played 2 and 3 the next 2 tribals. Like, once I'll forgive you, but they let that happen 2 more times, and that was ridiculous.
And I need to say that I'm tired of all this idol play. I really want.
There's nothing different about the idols this year. They did exactly what
it's exactly the same. Them. But I just don't like that they're always put back out. I want just limited amount of idols, just a smaller amount.
I can agree with that, but they should have known. Adam found an idol at 5. Ryan should know that. Chrissy should know that. And Mike probably should know that too.
Yeah, and the thing is, I guess I don't mind idols getting put back as long as they're used effectively. If they're squandered, I don't think they should be put back. If they're used properly, I think they should get put back.
Agreed. Nothing out of the ordinary happened there. When they got played, they got put back. Like, that's the rule.
No. It's not any. That's not any different. I want less idols. I want them to put them back out less. I want to see more gameplay than searching for idols.
I'd be fine with that.
I think that is gameplay. I think that is fresh.
Or make them really hard to find.
There I'll give you a thing, because there was some that were way too easy. I will agree with you on that point.
That's what I make them they have to work for these to find these.
I love if they like solve a puzzle to find it.
Solve a puzzle at tribal.
Oh, not even that. Something like what they did in Ko Wrong, where they have to go and actually make it obvious that they're looking for an idol.
Why was that one season?
Yeah, exactly.
And I get that you're hiding the idols in the rewards for returning seasons. I don't mind that, but at least stick to it. If you're gonna do it in rewards, do that. Don't make them easy like they did in Second Chances, where all of a sudden there's just one hanging in the middle like that. Yes, he had to escape. Yeah, he had to escape to get that, but still, that was really easy. It was just hanging in the middle of some lines. So, so let's get to the next day. Chrissy says that she wants to be friends with Ben, but of course Ben sees it as a gameplay move, and she's just trying to get onto him. I mean, what did you guys think of Chrissy's move? I guess
the way that she worded this was so odd, because she talks about, she's like, "Oh, Ben and I are friends now. We're good, but this is gameplay only." Like how she tries to show a softer side, then immediately messes that up within the same sentence. So it was just everything. I'm fine with being a little bit of a game bot when it comes to the game and focusing on the game. Not I'm fine with that if that's the way you're gonna play. But I think that the thing that rubbed me the wrong way a little bit there was, to the outside world, I always feel like she tried to be like, "Oh, we're friends. I know so much about you," and. But then immediately, that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I think it was the right decision for her to do.
But she didn't seem genuine, and I think that's the problem. It seems so fake. Like if Ryan, Devin, or Mike had approached Ben, it might have seemed more real. But that's all Chrissy does, is let me go to you, and I'm going to pretend to be your friend right now. And she's very fake. With throwing out random facts. I know you like the color red, Randy, so this is why we're friends. No.
So let's go to the immunity. What do you guys think of immunity challenge here?
The puzzle seems interesting.
I liked the puzzle, yeah. Other than that, it was pretty basic. There wasn't a whole lot to it. With swimming, going over a balance beam, and unlocking things, that's in every single one, it feels like. This puzzle was interesting because it was new. I really liked it. That one, that's one of those puzzles that I was like, oh, I would love to try that one. Because there's some of them, like that cog puzzle from, I think that was last week. I don't have any interest in doing that one. That one looks awful to me. But this one, I thought this one looked cool. I thought this one seemed fun.
Yeah, I want that. You could put it on a coffee table.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Did anybody hear how long it took them to do that? Because it seemed really fast, but I don't know if it's just the way it was edited.
Should have taken a while, I think.
I think it was pretty quick, though. They seem to be.
For challenges like these, for puzzles like these, I want there to be like 5 like GoPros from up above and
all at the same time.
and do split screen, and I want to see everything.
Yeah, that would be great.
That would have been great, and then do a 6 split, and then with the 5 players and Jeff in the corner. That would have been great.
Yeah,
you just see Jeff with little drones over all of them. There you go.
Hey, I'll take it.
So, who wins this one? Who wins this?
Chrissy won everything. That's why.
That's right. I was thinking of that reward challenge, but yes, it's immunity and reward in this particular case. So, swim out, get the keys, balance beam. Looked like some people were going to do really bad at the end. Chrissy's able to pull it out, wins her 3rd immunity at that point already.
Yes.
Which is impressive at that point already, especially considering how, especially what Probe said, she was throwing up at the beginning of the game. So she invites Devin and Mike to eat with her. What do you guys think of this leaving Ryan out?
I was really surprised with this decision. I don't think it mattered. It really didn't matter at all. But I guess what she did was she didn't want to leave Ben with someone that she didn't trust.
Yep.
She trusted that Ryan would never go back on her, so she left him with Ben. That's the only rationale I could think of. I liked that they brought Dr. Mike because he really hadn't been to the reward for a while, and she wanted to choose him the week before when Devin and her got to choose. So that was the Devin choice kind of surprised me, but in retrospect, I could see what she was thinking.
And I can see how Ryan might have taken it the wrong way, just because when Chrissy picks people for rewards, she just goes bam, 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 like kind of without emotion. And Ryan might have thought, hey, why am I just kind of left out of this so easily? And that might have left something down his mind.
I don't think he reacted as poorly as it seemed, because the only time we saw him really upset was in front of Ben. And he has to pretend he's upset in front of Ben. So I think Ryan's the person you could take on no rewards, and he probably doesn't hold it against you. Unless you made a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that it didn't bother him too much. He understood what was going on.
I did kind of like the whole, before they even sit down to eat, that they're looking everywhere for clues. And
I thought that was great. That was really funny. And because they had no reason at the time, when there's 5 of them and there's only one more tribal that they have to go to where idols can be in play, they have no reason to keep it from each other. Like, we know we're all on the same page here. Let's figure this out. Let's try to find it. I thought that was kind of a fun moment.
My problem is that the reward is a double-edged sword, because of course you get a feast and you get all this, and you might find a clue there. At the same time, the clue might be back on the island, and you're over here not being able to search for it. And then you have one person keeping their eyes on them. And
that's the game. It's always, you're always put in situations, and how do you react to those situations?
So would you guys prefer to take Ben with you, or keep him with one person back?
Stick him with Ryan. That's fine.
Yeah.
I would have left him back. I wouldn't have taken him.
So this is where they come up with a plan to use that super idol that, and a little bit too late, but what do you guys think of this plan? If it would have worked, it would have been a pretty great moment, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. If they would have done it earlier, it would have been great. But
if Ben hadn't found the idol, it would have been great.
Yeah.
But Ben knew it was fake. It was a great idea, but not on day 30-7.
Well, I think in a vacuum, it's a really good move, and I think that Ben thinking it's fake is pure luck. He has no reason to think it's fake other than he already has one. He could have easily been wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially with the note. But I don't know. Did that note say it was only available on the first?
It was, I believe, Ryan's note.
It was from the one he found under the flag.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, he believed it is fake because all the ones that we've seen lately are really cheapy looking idols, and this one's a nice gold piece.
Just a nice gold piece that happens to match the team immunity idols that they saw every day.
So whatever. What'd you guys think of Devin wanting to throw a stray vote to Mike?
Brilliant.
It's what Ashley tried to do, a round or two ago? It's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I called you before. I'm like, he's gonna do that. You better do it. If you don't, you're going home.
His sense for the game is unreal. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, he needs to follow his gut more. Like Devin has really good instincts, but he doesn't pull the trigger enough. So
and the thing that Mike was saying that he wasn't doing to do the same thing to Devin, and Mike would have made it to the Final Four.
yeah,
I don't know how true that is, but I mean, as far as what he says, I mean, he was gonna vote Devin, and he decided not to.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever going to vote Devin, but I think if that's what Dr. Mike wants to say, that's fine.
yeah, I don't care.
If he was gonna vote Devin, he would have.
Yeah.
What did they say? What's it called? Exit interviews are not canon.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so Mike goes out at final 5, leaving only Ryan, Chrissy, Devin, and Ben.
I do want to back up one quick thing of one point in time where I haven't really been a Ben fan too much. But with him walking away and just laughing at Chrissy and just kind of mocking her when she's talking about her idol that she found and how she was smug and just the way that he just laughed at her. I loved that scene.
Yeah, me too.
I thought that was so funny. And that was a fun Ben moment that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would have looked more like a villain if she wasn't as smug as she was when she was trying to play it off.
Yeah, if it would have been anyone else, it really wouldn't have played as well. But that played really well with it being Ben and Chrissy.
I wish that their rivalry had been stronger for longer, because for whatever reason, those two are such good, like kind of equally matched in different ways rivals, and I just wish we had gotten so much more of it.
Yeah, it would have been great if they never like aligned and they were just always at each other's throats.
I think their alignment made their rivalry so much better. The fact that they were, I just wish it happened, as Doug said, like stronger sooner in the season.
If they had both had their sides, the way that they sold the David and Zeke rivalry, I wish the way they sold that was how this one actually happened.
It reminds me more of like, what was I going to say? San Juan del Sur with like Jeremy and Reed, was it?
With Josh.
Josh. Like the rivalry between Jeremy, that they went out early in the post merge. That big rivalry was fun. They had their sides, and then they were the kingpins of their side, and that would have been fun to see.
Well, when Zeke and David were going at it, I said it was very much like the Lost, where they had the others and the main people coming at each other. And that's the only thing that lacked here, because they were at each other, but they never had a big group of people behind them, and that possibly is because the tribes were so small throughout the whole season, and that's why I've said it before. I do not like the 18 people. I don't mind the 18 castaway season as long as they're not in 3 tribes. I like it in 2 tribes.
They're going to be in 3 if you're starting with 18.
Well, they can start in 2. They can start 9.
I don't think they're going to start 2 9s because then you get problems with male female gender split.
That's true.
So they're always going to start. I think they're not going to do that.
20 all the time then, because I don't like and if they're going to do the 3-person tribe, the 3 tribe split, go back to 2 right away.
San Juan del Sur.
The what?
San Juan del Sur. That was a 2 tribe 9 each. Yeah, and that wasn't that big of a problem.
A different story because of a last minute bailout of a cast crew. So that was a little bit different story, but yeah. And that was 2 girls that they started with 10 guys and 8 females that season.
That was what SoKim, right? That
SoKim and her sister, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that doesn't happen often, but like I said, if they're gonna do the 18-person 3 tribe, split them to 2 almost right away. That way, we'll have bigger tribes and people are not hiding, or it's easier to hide for some of our favorites like Allie. I'm still a little
bitter.
Bitter.
I go back and forth on the 2 versus 3 tribe split. I don't know if I have a strong feeling either way on it. I like the 3 tribe seasons, but I also like the 2. There's things I like and dislike about both.
I like, for me, I like 2 tribes. I think just when they're 6 and 6, they're mixing it up after 2 weeks anyway. So I'm a fan of 2. I didn't hear what anybody else said though, because I had to step away.
No, you're good. You're good. All right. So, anything before we move on to the final 4?
Do we want to say goodbye to Dr. Mike?
Doug,
you want to say goodbye to
Doug can do it. Doug can do it. Doug is our...
None of us drafted in.
I don't think the chats for these podcasts are archived, so I don't know if I can pull up any proof or if you guys can prove me wrong or not.
You guys are stupid for not picking Dr. Mike.
All I was going to say was I wasn't going to come at you. I was just going to pat myself on the back because I think, and I don't know if I can prove it, but I think from the moment you drafted, I said, you're sleeping on Dr. Mike. You're all crazy for not drafting Dr. Mike. That being said, Dr. Mike is not a good Survivor player. He is a good Survivor character, and I am sad that he's done.
I'm just glad that he didn't beat me.
I was scared for you because I genuinely thought that Mike was... There was some weird moment. I was listening to something. I don't know what it was, but I was listening to something. I changed all of my fantasy points to reflect a Mike win because I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. He's winning.
Yeah, we were all scared for you, Saul. Seriously.
What would have been worse if he beat me or if he won and nobody picked him?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's almost like all I know is after watching his Ponderosa video, I don't need to hear the word coconuts ever again.
No.
He's trying to make that a thing, and how that's going to be the best duo in history, and I'm overhearing the word coconuts from him.
Won't be the best duo, but I'm fine with the coconuts.
I was fine with it until he said it 72 times in that Ponderosa video.
I'm scared to watch that now.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I wouldn't be surprised if he changes the name of his practice.
Yeah.
Oh God. Please
okay,
don't.
so let's go ahead and no, I mean Doug gave him a pretty good farewell.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say.
All right, so let's go ahead and go to the final 4. What do you guys think of our final 4 this year compared to other years?
I'm in. We got some strong players. I thought it's fine. I think these are some strong players. I think it was, well, I don't want to say too much without getting into Final Tribal, but I think that you go in there and you have 3 viable winner candidates.
Yeah, I don't know.
And one person who can talk fairly well. You have 3 viable candidates and then one person who can talk.
I think
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Leave Ryan alone. Leave him alone.
I don't know who said it, but I'm certain it was on a Rahap podcast, so I can't credit somebody. But somebody said that these are evenly matched, not great players, and that's it. That nails it. I don't care if you have top tier players or bottom tier players, as long as all the players are evenly matched.
Yeah.
And from 7 onward, at least, this has been an evenly matched field.
Oh, I agree completely.
Yep.
I still kind of wish Ali would have made it to this end over here. So
get over pre-merge. Get over
pre-merge. Bye. Girl, bye.
I'm trying to find where I'm at, so I was just trying to throw that out there.
Welcome back to the podcast, Saul.
Yeah, Evan is happy and ecstatic that he was able to make that move. But Ben knows that he has to win immunity. And if he's not, then maybe he's worried that he's going to go home. But before going home, Jeff did say that there's going to be a twist. So what do you guys think of them preempting or saying that there's going to be a twist ahead of time?
I like making them think about it. Give them something to not be able to sleep about. I like it.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's something good for the confessionals as well, so that they have more material to work with.
So I'm going to say the next immunity challenge is one of my favorite final immunity challenges in a while. I like the mazes. I like the big ones.
I like the big production sets for the final immunity challenge.
Away from that. And we've done ball savviness lately.
I like big production sets for the penultimate one. But I do like the big sets. Yeah. So I'm with you on that. Those big mazes are always my favorite.
Yeah, I always like those for the last one because it's such a big, epic thing. But this one played out well. I think this one
that's what it is.
Could have been bad. I think it could have been easy, could have been quick if you have someone who's good at it. But the way it played out made it really, really good.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys saw this. Someone took a screenshot of Chrissy's final words, and the S is backwards.
The S is upside down.
Like Patty keeps railing on that in the chat. I told her we'll get there. We'll get there, Patty. See, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it. With the S, the H,
upside down S.
If they're upside down, I guess it's still the same letter. If you have an upside down U, it's a very different thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's whatever. I wasn't too affected by it.
So, like I said, I'm still trying to get people Survivor. I'll tag Probst or Survivor. Bring back that vertical mace from Vanuatu. That's one of my favorite maces, but it's never come back. I don't know.
Yes.
So we get this drama with Ben dropping all his tiles after he put that letter backwards, and then everybody just starts dropping them one by one. Like, it lasts a lot longer than I think. So I think this upside down letter helped the finale, helped the challenge, and helped the drama.
I definitely agree with that. I'd love to know how long this challenge really took, because if I were any of them, I would have been throwing my tiles at Probst. I'd have been like, F you, I'm done, I quit the show, just give me the Ponderosa. It looked really hard.
Yeah.
I
I really thought Ryan was going to be better at this. He started out really strong in like the beginning of like the challenge, but then he fell out of it and then never really battled back. It felt like
what happened is that when he was holding on to it, his heart was pumping in his chest, and it was just moving everything.
It.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. For some reason, I thought he would be better at this. I don't know if it had something with him being a bellhop and stacking luggage or something. I don't know. For some reason, I thought Ryan was going to be good at this one.
I thought Ryan was going to be able to do at least one challenge effectively.
Yeah.
And no, that was wrong. So Chrissy wins her fourth community challenge and ties her for the most by a woman, which is what Kim Spradlin, Wigglesworth, and there's one more.
Jenna Maraska. So,
I mean, at that point, actually, I was like, I was over on Chrissy's side at that point. I'm not gonna lie. I was over at Chrissy's side. I was thinking Ben was out already, so I think Chrissy should win it hands down. I don't know if anybody of you guys have any differing opinions on that.
At that moment, I tweeted it was Chrissy's game to lose, and because we were all pretty sure. I think everybody was sure at that point that Ben is going out.
Well, he should have, but
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But yes, as much as I dislike Chrissy, and I've not hidden my dislike for her, I can separate everything and say gameplay, she should have won. Absolutely, but sometimes if you're that unlikable, Russell Hands, it's what happens. You're not going to get the vote.
I would have been interested to hear what Devin had to say.
Devin was robbed.
I don't know. That's not what I'm saying. I would have been interested to hear what Devin would have said if he would have made it to a final tribal.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking Ben's out at 4, I don't know what Devin would have said versus Chrissy there at the final tribal. That may have even helped Ryan even more, since Ryan basically, that was Ryan's alliance. He chose Devin, he chose Chrissy, and then he got those 3 to the end. So I don't know it would have been a completely different set of circumstances.
Devin didn't really make a lot of his moves on his own, so I really don't think he had much of an argument.
But the thing is, none of those people are there at the final with him, so he can claim those all he wants. Because he had the stuff with Lauren and Ashley and Ben, but if none of them are there, that's his move to claim. So I think that, and I think that kind of hurt Chrissy and Ryan a little bit. We'll get to that more later. But I think with them being so hand in hand the whole time and them both being there, I think that there was a little bit of I think they kind of watered the wine there against each other.
So let's just stop, beating around the bush. Let's get to the controversy this season. and I don't know how much of a controversy it is. I mean, there's a lot of people saying it, but I don't know how much. I think it's split at least a minimum. What do you guys think of the twist?
I loved it.
I hated it.
I love this as a mechanism.
Nope.
I think if we are talking about how Chrissy's advantage wasn't an advantage, Chrissy's advantage was not the twist. Chrissy's advantage was knowing about the twist. Her advantage was knowledge, was information, so she could plan effectively going into it. I think it's a great mechanism for the game. I do wish they would have known going into it that this is what was going to happen, but I think it's a great way for this exact reason. For someone like Ben, who has had such a good game all along, to have them have a chance at the Final Four.
But that's not the point of the game.
But that is the game. You have to adjust to what the game gives you. And this was the circumstances the game gave them. And I thought I really liked it. I'm all for it. I heard about it at the beginning of the season that this is what was going to happen at the Final Four. And I loved that. I was so looking forward to it. And it played out very well. It was fun. It made it exciting. Because usually that Final Four vote is really boring.
Just remember that there's also another late game twist that happened in Pearl Islands that everyone hates. That with the what were they called? The Outcast tribe coming in and taking over two of the people that are in, and they pretty much, what's his name? Savage was saying it was not a fair game, a fair twist or whatever, and Probst says Survivor is not a fair game.
Exactly.
Okay, but let me just say this: had they announced this twist in the beginning, I would have had more respect for it. It was geared so Ben had that chance to get the Final Three. There was no other way around it. That's why it happened. Because all those three people were not taking Ben. So Ben had that chance. That's why
we don't know that wasn't the plan from the beginning. Right?
Yeah, and very well, it wasn't the plan.
I absolutely disagree with that. I 100%.
Yeah, I do too. It's too complex of a twist. Here's my thing. I think it's too complex for them to just be like overnight, be like, how do we save Ben? This is a really complex game mechanic, and the reason that I like it, and I am the only person on this podcast who's been rooting for Chrissy, and it was a disadvantage to Chrissy. And I still think it was a good twist. And here's why. The reason people, or one of the reasons people have criticized the Final Three for a very long time, is that it becomes too easy to pad yourself with goats in a Final Three. And you don't have to, if you have a really solid Final Three, you don't ever have to make a decision in front of everybody that screws someone else over. In this case, you now have a perfect, what I think is balance between the final two decision-making that can really hurt your double dealings and the Final Three where you can pad it. So you get to pick somebody to pad right next to you, but then you have to screw somebody over in your Final Three. If they can't pull it off, they're the one you chose to take a chance on. And it gives a person that you were trying to get out an opportunity to come back in. It sucks that Chrissy got screwed by it because I wanted Chrissy to win, but it also sucked that like so many people got evac'd from Micronesia and they needed to lengthen that season. Like, I don't know.
I'm going to say that I didn't think that I would change my mind at all. Randy didn't change my mind, but Doug, you had something there.
Very good. I'm gonna say I don't believe Survivor changes the game mid-game. I will give you a little bit of somehow some idols seem easier to find than others.
Yeah.
But I don't think a twist like this they're gonna just throw in there at the last second.
So let's the idol, the one that was behind him. All of a sudden he's looking there. How did he look? How did he decide to look behind where he was sitting?
That's how it's always happened this season, hasn't it?
They were on the other side of the camera pointing.
Joe said it from the beginning. He was under the raft. I want to state that Joe said it from the very beginning of the season that the idol was under the raft. That's I don't know why this is a question.
Because it's ridiculous. That's the beginning of the game, and we're here at the very end. And production put it there because Joe said it. Come on.
Maybe they gave it to Joe and he can put it wherever he wanted to.
Just saying.
Oh,
Joe tried to tell us.
So, I mean, if you're here, you already know what the twist is. You get to choose one final 3 person, and then the other 2 get to fight it out and fire. Which, you know, if you pick the right people to do the fire, even if it's like someone like Ben, sometimes that fire making challenge will make him look like a goat, make him look like
Carolyn and Rodney.
Yeah, exactly.
It was not a good look for them. Like I'm just saying,
so,
like, that to me, that's what that reminds me of.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can choose the right people there, you can make it work for you. But unfortunately for Chrissy, Ben won, and fortunately for Ben, he got this chance, and he was able to get in.
I loved the way that Devin stepped up here. Like that's what Devin knew immediately. So I have to do it. And Ryan said, "Oh, I would lose," and they said, "We know that's why you're not doing it."
Yeah, it was the obvious choice. It was the obvious choice to set into the fire challenge. But yeah. How do we feel about
Ben step up there?
How do we feel about this thing being a permanent thing from this point?
I don't mind it.
I like it because it makes the Final Four more exciting than it is. Because the Final Four is really boring.
I will give it to you now. Like I said, Doug helped, and I'm okay with this being a regular thing because now that I'm aware that this is going to happen, then at least you can be excited. You can be like, you know what's happening, and you can root for one person to win. Like I said, Doug helped change my mind.
So I'm looking at the past 3 seasons, and aside from wrong, this twist would have really complicated the final 3s because Brad would have had to choose either Sarah or Troy, right? Because he wants to sit next to one of them. And Ty could have made fire, like, let's be honest. And what was the other one? Millennials versus Gen X. Who won the final challenge that time?
Ken. Right?
Ken. So Ken would have had to choose between Adam and Hannah, who he had determined at that point were who he wanted to sit next to because he had already decided to get rid of David. So, like, that would have complicated it. Can you imagine Ken having to make that decision?
Oh, yeah, that would have been really great to watch. Holy crap.
Yeah. David versus Hannah in a fire making challenge.
Yeah. And then think about wrong. If Michelle hadn't won the Final Four challenge and one of the other people did, like, that would have caused a crap ton of drama too.
Well, Michelle did win that one, right?
Yes.
Don't we think she would have brought Sydney? Wasn't Sydney?
Oh, yeah. She would have had to choose between Aubrey or Sydney. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure about this twist when I saw it, but now that we talked about this and we thought about this in this manner, I think I am more for it from this point on.
What's really cool is Ghost Island has no idea this is going to happen. So they're not home preparing. People who are trying out for Survivor now are sitting there for like weeks on end making that fire, knowing if they make it to Final Four, they have to make a fire.
Well, I think Patty even kind of said it in the chat, and I think I agree with her. I think they told Ghost Island because now that it's a thing, I don't think they're going to try to surprise them because I don't think that Survivor thinks the audience understands the timing of when they tape things. So if they get out there and it's a surprise to Ghost Island at the end, most fans are going to be like, "What? We saw it last season. Why don't they know?" You know what I mean? I think they're going to tell them. Just like how, but to me, it's similar to like the legacy advantage. If the people know about it, I think it's fun. If the people know that that's out there, I think it makes it more fun. I think what the problem with the legacy advantage is people didn't know it was in play. People didn't really understand what was going on. And I think this is a similar idea to me.
Okay, so let's say there's been, I think, 3 evolutions of the game that I think that have helped the game. The first and the main one was the hidden immunity idol, right? Second one was done just last season in the final 3. Well, I guess the final 3 would have been one, right? A change where do you guys like that, or do you guys think it was not that great?
Do people remember what the initial reasoning was for it? I don't remember. Did they just say that it was harder to? Oh, yeah. Okay, the final 3 was originally meant to avoid being able to just plop a goat next to you. Right, and then people figured it out because like emergent gameplay and all that sort of stuff.
So I guess Final 3 is an evolution of the game, but people were able to hack it right away.
It's like an amendment they had to take back.
Yeah, so now they have this, and then the other one was from last season where they had the open forum for the final tribal council.
Oh,
which I love. I love the final tribal council, and I think that's where we're at now, probably in this
well, we're not talking about the fire. How this? I guess like Devin just couldn't do anything. I felt bad for him.
I did too. Why was he so bad at that?
It was real weird.
From what I know, though, when you're doing that fire, you're not supposed to go this way with the knife. You're supposed to rub the flint against the knife instead of against the.
I also want to show some foreshadowing that they showed early in the episode of Devin making fire early in the episode.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah.
Because when I knew that, I didn't know who was going to be in it, but I knew that the final four was fire, and then within the first 10 minutes, you see Devin make a fire. I got worried.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I was hoping that good, he's good at fire. Maybe it'll work, but
the other way around.
It doesn't work that way.
Okay, so we talked a lot about this already. Let's go to the actual final tribal council because now we know Ben, Chrissy, and Ryan.
Has Randy got a chance to say goodbye to Devin?
Oh yeah, I guess I should say goodbye to Devin.
Yeah,
Devin,
there we go.
I really like Devin. Devin was, in my opinion, one of the best players of the season. I think, as Doug said, he had a really good gut instinct in the game. Some of his postseason comments that he made in exit interviews made me not as excited about Devin because he seemed a little bit too. He didn't have the fire of the game in him. I felt like he's a very nice guy. And I think that's is generally a good thing, but not always in Survivor.
He's really nice.
I'm a very big Devin fan. And I thought
to see him come back.
I thought that he was at the beginning of the season, we kept saying that he was Taylor from last season. And I'm pretty sure I said in the draft when I picked him that he's not Taylor, he's Jay. Like he is Jay. That's what and I think I'm right there. At least the way it turned out. And I really liked Devin.
I like Devin. I didn't really like him at the beginning because I didn't really know too much from him. I don't know. I don't remember if I was able to listen to Devin's pregame stuff when we did the draft, but I learned to like him. I liked him and Ashley as a group. And it sucked that he turned on her so easily. But
you know what it is? Not that I'm happy he turned on her, but I'm happy that he was able to. He was able to turn on someone. Granted, it wasn't the right person to turn on.
Yeah, he turned on her just like Sierra voted out her mom. Like she's already going. Get on the right side of the numbers.
Well,
like,
it was Chrissy's move. Chrissy's
exactly. Like, it was happening. Devin, get on board.
And when Chrissy said, us women, us mothers, I wanted to be like, bitch, shut up. You have hated women all season, and now you're going to think that you're going to fool me? No.
Language, Kim, language. Oh.
I think I think that word is okay. I didn't say the whole shut the.
Let's not go there.
Let's jump to the final public council. Again, we're going to the open forum final tribal council, which I love. I believe. I almost think that Chrissy was almost able to pull it off and pull it away from Ben. Ben even said that he believed that he might have lost to Chrissy.
You would think that based on the way they showed it, right? Like, oh my gosh.
I gotta say, I thought Ben did terrible in this final tribal council.
Yeah. He did.
He changed himself a little bit at the end.
Before he did his whole PTSD thing, I was like, oh my god, this guy's getting the Troyzan final tribal edit.
I just thought he did terrible through most of the questioning.
I have a problem with, and I tweeted it, Survivor, Big Brother, these are not sob stories. I don't want to hear listen, I suffer from PTSD, and I know it's horrible. But that's not about winning the show or not,
But I don't think that won him the show. I really don't think that.
I don't think it won him the show. I think what won him the show was everyone disliked Chrissy.
Well, I think I agree with that. I think stuff like what Ben's talking about is valuable and can come up really naturally and has in the past, right? So it used to be really, really common, and I don't think anybody asked a question like this time because the open forum kind of changed a little bit, but people have asked directly, like, what are you going to do with the fact, not that you have $1 million, but that you are the sole survivor? Like, what do you do with your title? And Ben's answer fits that perfectly. And when those types of things happen and it comes up really naturally, it at least contextualizes that subject matter to say, okay, okay, now we kind of know what the jury is looking for and what their metric is. But I don't think anybody asked that, so I wasn't primed to consider that as a metric. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, and I think do you guys kind of wish we still had the opening statements, or you guys are okay with no opening statements?
Now that we have an open forum, I'm fine with not having open statements.
Yeah, I agree. I like the open forum because, don't get me wrong, I love Susan Hawk every time. But it was good. They were able to shout out how they felt. They asked what they wanted to ask. It wasn't these staged questions, you know, like give me a number 1 through 5 and I'm going to pick. I liked it.
And I loved that it opened up some bickering between the finalists themselves. That it let them be able to no, you didn't do that. Like, just be able to kind of jockey for position there. And I thought that was a really fun part of this final tribal, especially between Ryan and Chrissy, who have been on the same page the whole time. Seeing them kind of bicker with each other was really fun.
One of my favorite moments during the open forum was when Ryan and Chrissy were bickering with one another, and Cole, of all people, goes, "Can you stop? None of this is affecting our decision at all."
Yeah, I thought
none of this is making a difference.
By the way, did JP even talk?
Who? JP? Yeah, he did.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, he did.
More than I would have expected, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I think he asked if Ryan knew that he was going to get blindsided.
Yeah, nobody knew.
Yeah,
so
no one.
JP did not vote for Chrissy, right?
No, it was Mike and Ashley.
Yeah, Mike and Ashley.
I'm surprised that he didn't vote for Chrissy. Because I don't know if you got confused, but when he was reading the votes, there's only 6 votes read, and he said 1 vote left.
He did.
I noticed that too.
What?
That's why at first I thought that then Chrissy only had 1 vote.
Well, that's what's weird. So I brought that up with the people I was watching, and I said, wait a second, like they didn't read enough votes. And they were like, well, yeah, but they don't need to because the last one should have been for Ben. But I knew I wasn't crazy when I said that because he said only 1 more.
Well, he said it like as he was about to read the vote that ended it. And it was really weird.
He also opened it poorly.
I was a little confused by it too. Who tweeted? Somebody tweeted. And I hope that girl who wrote a name down doesn't break some tie. The girl in the audience and
I started to worry about that at one point.
Brady, were you the one that tweeted that? Somebody tweeted?
No, but I thought that. I was like, uh-oh.
I was like, take that back. This better not be what's going on.
So, during the final council, this is what I do. Like when they're doing all that, I usually go, okay, this person's going to vote for this, and I'll do this. And then when he's reading the votes, I'll do it again. And when he said fine, I was like,
I'll be honest, going into this, I had no idea who was going to win. I really didn't. That's why I thought it was exciting, because the first tribal council, when Ben plays it, who's going to go home? Is it Devin or Mike? The second tribal council, who's going to go home? Is it Ben or Devin with the fire making challenge? At the final tribal, who's going to win? Like, I thought this was a really exciting episode, and I thought it was a fun finale. I'm very happy that it didn't end in a tie, because so many people were sure it was going to end in a tie because of what Probe said. I'm so glad it didn't.
I couldn't believe it didn't.
I was so happy.
I'm happy.
I know my word was unsurprising, but I was shocked it wasn't a tie. Like, good on you, Jeff Probst.
But here we go. If it was a tie, Ryan would have had the deciding vote, and he would have voted Chrissy.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. JP votes Chrissy, and Devin decides to throw her a bone. That would have been a tie.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a couple things that needed to rearrange there. But it's one of those ones that's also really interesting, because it's all the 3 people that were the most recent 3 out of the game are not the 3 that voted for Ben. It was the first 5 jurors that voted for Ben. The last 3 did not, which I always find that kind of interesting, especially if you like shrink the jury a little bit. It makes that really a lot closer.
Yeah.
But I don't think we need to shrink the jury anymore, because 8 is pretty small for me.
I think 8 is good. I don't.
I don't like even numbers. I don't like even numbers for
7
it.
probably would be okay.
7 or 9, I would be okay with.
Yeah. Well, even I mean, with the 3-person final 3, you can still get a tie with even.
Yeah, I agree, but this could have been 8. Just seems like a problem ready to happen.
So I'm gonna give my final words for this finale.
Yeah.
I started the season not liking Chrissy on the first episode. I didn't really like her. I like Ben. I didn't like Chrissy. By episode 2, I like Chrissy. And I like Ben. And I like them together. About the tribe swap, I didn't like either one of them. So when they were in control, I did not like that they were in control. I felt like they were going to be a pagonging. When all this crap went down and they went at each other, that's karma for you guys. That's what you guys get. So at the finale, knowing that it was going to be Ben and Chrissy in there, I was upset. However, Ben finding the idols and staying alive made me happy he was there. Chrissy winning the immunity challenges, it made me happy that she was there. I kind of wish Chrissy would have won because she won the immunity challenges, but I don't take away anything from Ben that he won the immunity, that he found the immunity idols. So I'm glad that this happened. I'm satisfied with the ending. The last thing I'm going to say about the little controversy that happened there is that the fans get upset that the final 4 or the final 3 are always stacked with 2 goats, and then when they do something about it, they still complain. Same thing happens when people are complaining when it's a pagonging. People don't like the pagonging, but when the people flip and avoid the pagonging, they complain. So, guys, enjoy the seasons. Even when it's not a great season, Survivor is better than no Survivor, guys.
Amen to that. I agree with you completely. And one thing that I found very interesting, especially when we're talking about Chrissy's 4 immunity wins, if we look at those 4 women, there's 2 winners and 2 runner-ups. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, just because you win all those doesn't mean you're going to win the game. Also, and I found that really, and especially if you look at her age compared to Kim Spradlin was 29 when she did that, and the other 2 were 21 and 22. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they were.
And
yeah.
so
Chrissy's twice as old as 2 of them.
It's impressive. Like, Chrissy really was impressive all season. I didn't like her as a person or as a character. She really rubbed me the wrong way.
Same.
But she was good.
Well, what did you think about her remarks at Final Tribal, where she was talking about, how she's a woman and she's.
I thought she may have won it on the Moms Are Heroes and Hustlers. I thought she might have won the game, and that was her winner quote.
What about when she said, I underestimated myself? Do you think that maybe she sounded a little too conceited?
The problem with Chrissy is that when she would give compliments or whatever, it never sounded genuine. Even when she voted out Rourke, when she voted out Allie, her way to talking to them was not the way you would normally talk to somebody. It always felt like she was talking down to them.
The tone that she talks with, that's the problem I have with her.
Yeah.
That it just comes out way too cold and way too unemotional, and she sounds like a robot when she talks, and that's what lost her the game.
She might mean it. She might mean everything she's saying.
Yeah, but the way that it sounds, it's just not. You can't take it in.
And that's what cost her the game. I think that they just didn't like her, and I think somebody must have convinced JP not to vote for her. Maybe Desi. I mean, someone that was out there for a while, because he did vote for Ben.
So let me ask Doug, because Doug looks like he's building up something.
Doug's about to explode.
The criticisms Chrissy gets are criticisms other players get and then get forgiven for. And I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand if it's the character or the archetype that she is or what. But, like, there are so many other players who are different characters, different archetypes, who are total fill in whatever expletive you want and malicious, and then we love them because they were like that. And Chrissy's not going to get that. No one's ever going to feel that way about her. She's a good player. She kicked butt. She tied a record. She played a great game. And we forgive people's bad personalities.
But can you give me an example of someone who has been loved that was a, so to speak, a villain?
Tony. People watching Kagayama
I never thought Tony was a villain. Tony
why is Chrissy a villain? What has Chrissy done that makes her a villain? Because she's a bitch?
The difference is between Tony is charismatic. So if you have this charismatic personality behind the villain, you find something likable about them.
I will say, if you watch
Richard Hatch is probably about as much of a villain in the first season as Chrissy. He's also smarmy, he's slimy, he's gross, he talks about people behind their back, he's phony, and people love him. People still love Brian Heidick, and Brian Heidick is disgusting.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Do you think it's because Chrissy's a woman?
I would say Randy did call it at the
I don't think it's just because she's a woman. I do think it's more than that. But I think that it's a category of female player that she fits into, right? Because I think you can have somebody younger who could get away with the things that Chrissy does. I think you could have somebody who's more openly brash and who decides to wear the word bitch across their chest. I think they get away with it, right? But I think who Chrissy is on screen is exactly who she is all the time. And I don't think she's trying to be mean to people. I don't think she's especially smarmy or anything like that. I just think for whatever reason, I'm getting like deep, but I think we're just trained to not like the blonde, middle-aged, successful women. No, like I think that character is one.
Like them, but once they start being a little bit aggressive, that's when you don't like them. And
what is she supposed to do? Is she supposed to be nicer, or is she supposed to be more hardcore?
My problem with Chrissy was how she talked down to people. Backstabbing, I'm cool with. Talk behind people's back, I don't care. It was when she would talk down to people, like she was better than them. That was my whole issue with her.
And I don't think that's exclusive to her. I think they're condescending people we like. I personally think Spencer's condescending and people love Spencer. I think Ryan's condescending and people like Ryan. You know, like
it also could be the edit. I mean, she definitely got the bad edit.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you watch her exit interviews, she's extremely charming. Mm-hmm. In her exit interview, especially with Rob, I thought she was.
I can't imagine.
I really enjoyed her. In her exit interview.
I mean,
I can't imagine she would be as successful as she is.
Personal lives about these people. I had no idea because we never saw that. We never saw her bonding with anyone. I didn't see when Joe mentioned how his parents are divorced, so he doesn't ever want to get married. I didn't see that happen. You know, so I think that maybe she got the edit that they wanted her to get. Basically, they didn't maybe show the deep moments that she had.
I'm not an Edgic guy, but does anybody follow Edgic? Did she get negative? Did she get negative stuff or over the top negative stuff?
Not really.
Sandra gets worse stuff than Chrissy does.
I love Sandra.
Oh, I do too. But Sandra's one of those people who wears the B word across her chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sandra. Here's the thing. I think too. Sandra owns it. I think that's it too. Like, I don't think Chrissy owned it. Sandra owns it. She says, I'm queen bitch. And you know, blah, 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 blah. Chrissy doesn't own it. And maybe that was...
Do you think people would let Chrissy do that? Because I don't.
I didn't hear you.
I think it's going to go back to what I said, Randy kind of called it at the beginning, is that she was worried about Chrissy getting that older mom title, but then when she starts to play, it falls to where people feel more betrayed by that because they feel like that mom character shouldn't betray people. And is it a false logic? Maybe yes. Oh, no, it definitely is. But unfortunately, that's the way people feel about mother figures. They don't feel like you should be backstabbed by mother figures.
I think that's part of it, but I also think we just, again, getting big here, but like we just undervalue moms in general. For whatever reason, we feel like we can give moms shit, and I think that translates to Survivor too, that we wouldn't give to other people. And I think it manifests over and over where it's like, okay, but I can push back against what she's doing because she's my mom. And like she'll still, I don't know if it's because the unconditional love piece or whatever it is, where we feel empowered to like push a little more. But I feel like that happens in Survivor all the time. I feel like Chrissy is a victim of that.
Yeah, but I really became like after she won both immunities, I thought this is great. I mean, I was ready to root for her, and then she went into that final tribal, and then we come back again to this issue of her delivery of her points, and it just comes off. It doesn't come off
genuine.
genuine or easy for people to receive. You know what I mean?
Got like goosebumps when she was like, "I'm a badass and I'm awesome and I did awesome things."
I did, and I like
found the whole mom hero thing to be phony. That's what got me. It's like I'm like, no, you don't. Like I don't like women, and I wouldn't say women are my sisters. No, I don't really get along with women, and I would own it. You know, I would be hated on any reality show because I know who I am. I'm opinionated. I'm a bitch, and I don't like people. Okay, so I'd be loathed, man. You think Chrissy's hated? They would hate me more.
I thought Chrissy did a good job. I thought she did a good job at Final Tribal.
I thought she did an okay job at Final Tribal. I thought she did better than Ben, and I do think, I don't want to use the word deserve, but I'll just use it because I don't know what else to use. She deserved that win over the other two. She busted her butt. She hustled. She won idols. She controlled things. Ben didn't do everything she did.
She made great points during that final tribal. She made wonderful points. She mentioned great points during that final tribal.
Yeah, it came down to they didn't like her. And that's how it always comes in Survivor and Big Brother.
It is a social game, like we said before, especially
she didn't have a social game.
Jury management.
I think she did have a little bit of a social game, but the way she decided to do the social game was that she said, "I'm going to go out and do this.
I'm going to memorize a fact about each person." And
exactly, and people kind of got that and said she's only doing this because she wants points.
Like I know that I'll be like, Mark, I know that you sing. Look at what I listen to you. You sing, and I know that.
That's what listening is.
Well, no,
Joe was shocked.
The way she said it robotic. It was, but like she said to Joe, I know you don't like to get married because your parents are divorced. It was,
and he was dumbfounded that she remembered that.
She exposed that on TV. That's my opinion.
That was
he was more mad about that. That's how I interpret it.
I agree with Randy.
There was nothing else she could have said other than he doesn't want to get married to millions.
Well, what was she supposed to say? That he got a 34 on his ACT? People hated that. Like, again, she said something really personal, and then she said just a number fact, and either way, people hated it. Like, I don't know what listening is if you don't repeat
But I will go back and say that she should have won. I will stick with that. Even though I'm not a fan, I do think she played a better game, and she did better at Final Tribal.
I'm going to just end it. My summary of this is you didn't have to tell people that you had a social relationship with them. You shouldn't have to be able. You shouldn't have to convince them. And I think that's what she was trying to do. And I think that was the problem, is that she didn't have that connection when she tried to convince them that they did.
So let's have Randy update everybody on the draft, and then we'll have we'll have this winner get their victory speech.
I don't have my crown ready. Shit. Where's my tiara?
Okay, let me know when you can see it. Hopefully you can see it now as I'm talking. Yes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we ended up with Mark won this thing with 179 points, ending with both Ben and Chrissy, which was the two biggest point getters. In second, we had Kim left with just Ryan with 144 points. I ended in third with 80 points. I had Devin going into the finale and lost him. Saul's been gone for quite a while and had 58 points. And then undrafted had 39 points. One of those was from Katrina.
So my 4 people scored 20 points more than Mike.
Yeah, and I do want to state that Mark chose Ben as the 4th overall pick in our draft. He had the number 4 pick, and that's where Ben was selected.
Yeah, Mark had good picks. He really did.
Yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud of picking the people that I picked, even though all of them in the middle of the game did stuff that was really not that great, to say the very least. But thanks to some I really don't want to say interference, but thanks to some tinfoily stuff happening during the game, I was able to win this draft. And
didn't you say that you thought Chrissy would win? You still would have had the winner.
I still would have had the winner. Yeah.
So you probably would have won the draft either way. Like I
would have won the draft either way, but it's just the way Ben got to the win. I think I was a little suspect on. That was the only thing. But Ben did great. He had moves during the game. He was able to save it during Final Tribal.
King Arthur, Secret Agent Ben, he had some big moments.
Yeah, he had great moments in the game, and he really deserved it. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
For anyone to be that targeted as King Arthur that early and to win the game is impressive. I thought his Secret Agent Ben, where he was a double agent, he played it so well. When he had to lie and when he had to play off Chrissy's fake immunity idol, he played it so well. Like he had a couple moments like that where I was just so impressed with the way that he was playing it. Like he had a couple key moments. I think in the history of things, when we look down at a winner ranking down the road, I think Ben's winner ranking will be hindered by those twists. I think people will take that out on Ben, and I don't know if that's fair, but it is. Like they will. They'll look at that. They'll look at that as somewhat of an asterisk by him. But I think he did. I somewhat relate him to like a Mike Holloway type winner.
The only difference is that Mike won the immunity challenges.
Exactly, he won the challenges when Ben got the. But they in my mind, that's who I most closely relate him to in the winners world over there. But I thought this was a fun season. I really do. I thought it had a slow burn, and we kept saying that this is building stories that are gonna pay off at the end, and a lot of them did. I really like. I think from what was the first big episode that really the double episode? I think that one really killed it. Right around Thanksgiving is when this season really started killing it. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was a lot of fun. And I think there was a couple memorable people that we will probably see back at some point in time in the future.
You're talking about JP, right?
I think Chrissy, the perfect example that we'll see back. She's an archetype that isn't as prevalent, I think. And I think that we'll see her back. I think we'll see Lauren back. I think we may see Devin back at some point in time. He's in that surf bro, and maybe if his mom's there, according to his interview, he'll only play if his mom gets to play. But I think there's some fun people.
I want to say that in the reunion,
no, Allie's not coming back.
When they showed Lauren, my wife was like, "Dang, Lauren looks
good."
Yeah, she had like full eye makeup on.
Yeah, she had a lot of makeup on. Yeah, I mean, she looked decent.
I think I said it within the first 3 weeks. I was wrong about Lauren.
Yeah, we all were.
We all were.
I think she might come back. I mean, I think that
absolutely she'll come back.
They'd ask her back, but she'd have to want to come back. You know,
she wants it. She wants it. Yeah, and you know, Blood versus Water. Her and her sister would just kill it.
That'd be fun.
We can hope.
That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that? Well, what guys do you think would be asked back other than Devin?
I think when they do returning seasons, they want a complex relationship, right? So that's why we ended up with Cass, Spencer, and Tasha. And I don't know why Wu was there, but those three made sense. Yeah. So I feel like if they were going to do another one, I think as disappointed as I am to say this, I think we would get Chrissy,
Ryan,
Ben, Lauren, and Mike. Or instead of Ben as a winner, we'd get somebody else who's connected to those three. I think they would all be final 6 or 7 people.
Jeff Probst had said that a pre-merge that returnee would probably be Alan, because he kind of thinks that he was booted way too early.
Alan?
That's what he
said. Really?
No, thank you.
That's Probst though, so you know.
Yeah. I think if it's if there's any pre-merge pick, I agree with Patty in the chat that it's Allie.
Yeah, I would say if anyone, it's Allie or Desi. No, Desi was after merge. So Allie, I think that Rourke didn't just show enough.
No.
Even though, you know, there's just it would only be Allie. I don't think anyone else.
You know what?
Anyone would care about coming back.
I think they will probably want Joe back at some point in time as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think Joe would come back.
I think we can skip the reunion. There isn't much.
I didn't even watch it.
It was
reunion.
awful. The only thing is, okay, I just want to talk about the most important thing.
Ghost Island.
The most important thing is Ghost Island.
Wait,
because this looks so good.
Wait.
What?
I do have one question about the reunion.
Okay.
Because what they were doing, I think they did it poorly, is they asked a question to everybody on social media. The problem is they didn't plug that social media. I would be okay moving forward if what they do is this, and they say all over that reunion, hey, check out, what our contestants have to say on our Instagram or whatever. So that I would be okay with, but they didn't plug it, so I'm not okay with it.
Yeah, and they didn't really even announce the winner until like 30 minutes into the reunion
hour.
Like, I was shocked that we were still asking, like, we were just starting asking questions at Final Tribal Council when it hit the 9 o'clock hour. Like, I was really thrown off by that. But yes, back to what I was saying. Ghost Island.
Ghost Island. There we go.
Because I've been saying this all along. I don't think we talked about it on the podcast because we didn't want to spoil anything, even though it's not spoiling. But I think we've talked about it after episodes. I'm so excited when I found out the name for really just the art direction of it is what I'm really excited about. And seeing the preview, I think that paid off. And seeing that they're kind of bringing back some of like the stupid mistakes that people made and kind of seeing how I think that's a fun idea. I think this is going to be, as we saw, I think we saw it. Yeah, we saw it. 2 tribes, 20 people, 2 tribes. Purple and orange. So I'm all in. I'm all in. I think the logo is awesome. I think the art direction is going to be really cool. Tribal Council, like you could kind of see Tribal Council looked really cool with like the tiki heads, and I'm just really excited about it. I think
now we know they keep all the idols, right? All the idols and all the necklaces,
all the props. Yeah, they kept all the props.
All the snuffers are there.
Yeah,
they said they had them hanging up.
Jeff keeps the snuffers for each season, so
yeah,
he probably is like, I don't lose any of these, or someone's getting fired.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm really excited about the season just for like the art direction of it all and seeing how they, like, you say you don't like idols, get ready because there's gonna be a lot of idols in Ghost Island. Like, I think that's obvious.
There's gonna be a stick there, probably.
We're gonna see the.
And I don't like when the same person wins idol after idol. Maybe that kind of takes excitement. I don't know. I think it's just when one after another after it kind of gets.
It's always
repetitive.
The people I don't like too. I'll be honest. It's always people I don't like that find idols.
Yeah, same.
Every time. But I'm really excited for Ghost Island.
I'm interested to see how they integrate all that into the game, and it'll be very interesting. I mean, if Ghost Island is just an island of like all previous season idols, and there'll be clues as to which one is the real one, and that'd be kind of interesting as well. I think there's so many directions they can go in, and I'm excited to see this.
Did they film? Are they filming now?
It's done.
It's going to air after Ghost Island?
They filmed it back in June.
Yeah.
No, not Ghost Island. The one that's filming after. The one that's going to air after
March.
It'll be March. They usually do the odd-numbered seasons in March and April, and the even-numbered seasons in like June, July.
So they didn't start filming the one after.
I don't think it's even announced where it's at yet. We don't know if we're going back to Fiji or not. I'm assuming maybe we'll go back to Fiji for the 5th and 6th season in a row, but they haven't officially announced that yet.
And I bet you next season, not Ghost Island, obviously, we'll have some returning players.
You think 37 will?
Yeah, they always have it every couple of seasons.
Do you think that Ghost Island was meant, prior to casting and all that, meant to be another returning season, and then Game Changers was received so poorly that they switched to new? Because
not exactly. But
it makes so much more sense to have
because they showed all the mistakes that everybody made. And when I first saw the preview, I'm like, are these the people they're bringing back? Because this is not what I saw.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, it's not the people. So I thought they were bringing back all these people that made these huge, epic mistakes. Eric, probably the biggest mistake in Survivor history. He pulled a Marcellus from Big Brother. Okay. It was
upside down Yubi there.
Somebody was saying that, yeah. Do you think, Randy, because I feel like you were going to say something, do you think it was going to be fans versus favorites again?
I read something a while back that when Ghost Island was first pitched as an idea, it was much different than what we're actually getting, and I think that may have had a little bit. I think there may have been some returnees in that iteration of it. But
there were supposed to be 30.
The original Ghost Island plan is not what we're actually going to see in 36, from what I understand.
Okay. I think we've gone a lot longer than we normally do. At least, well, not longer, but it was a double
3 hours, and we did pretty good. And all honesty, for 3 hours of the show, we did real good.
Yeah, we did it in just over an hour.
Yeah.
And I don't like doing rankings usually. I can't rank Ben yet. It's still too early. Although I was able to rank Sarah on my top, I think 5 or 6 pretty fast.
So high.
Wow.
I
wait a minute. You have Sarah.
Well, this is a whole different podcast.
Oh my God.
Yes. Because I love the way she played.
Because you drafted her. There's no way she's the top 5 player of all time. Get out of here.
Halfway through the season, I'm like, she's doing these moves and she's gonna make it far. If she's not gonna win.
She's not even a top 5 player on the last 5 seasons. Okay.
She did awesome. She did awesome. She didn't get edited the way that she should have got edited, but she did awesome. You just by talking to everybody that was there.
So Triple H
gone. Triple H has been eliminated now. It was. What did I say last week? It was very dysfunctional. It's that cousin that keeps coming to your family gatherings you really don't want around, but you love him.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun season. I don't think there was, and I think as Doug kind of mentioned earlier, as we heard previously, it was a bunch of not the greatest players on an even level playing ground fighting against each other. I thought that was fun.
I think the thing about this season is basically one big comedy of errors, and that's what's saving this from being the bottom tier. And that's why I have this pretty much mid-low instead of low-low. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think this is the middle, but it was good. I still, as I say, any Survivor is good Survivor to me. I don't really get bent out of shape about it all.
Yeah.
Well, Doug and I said it was kind of like Gabon, and what other season did you say?
I don't remember, but just like the messy seasons. I personally think Korong was a little messy too, and I like that one a lot.
San Juan is a little messy.
Guatemala.
San Juan del Sur is a little messy, in my opinion.
Do you even want to mention that one?
Yeah, I love Guatemala.
Yay!
First buff I ever bought.
All right, so we're gonna keep going on. We keep doing this.
Yeah, let's not.
All right, so I want to thank everyone for a great season. Thank you, Doug, for helping us out especially in the last month and a half. Thanks, Kim, Mark, Randy. Thanks for being here for Triple H. We're gonna try to get at least one guest here, and then after the new year, we'll let you all know if that happens, and we'll let you know who it is when it happens. So we'll go ahead and just signing off for the last time for Survivor Triple H. We'll see you guys next time, and don't forget to go buy the shirts.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for The Amazing Race.